This footage shows how volunteers with tradition, family, and property were attacked for supporting traditional marriage. In this video, you will see TFP volunteers being assaulted, threatened, pepper sprayed, hit with glass bottles, sprayed with pesticide, punched, and spit on. And their literature was stolen, ripped, and burned. But before we see this shocking footage, please know that whenever TFP volunteers organize rallies, their conduct is peaceful and respectful, never aggressive. And our message is positive. The banners and signs say, God's marriage equals one man and one woman, or honk for traditional marriage. Those who disagree, however, are not always peaceful. The advocates of same-sex marriage not only dislike the idea of true marriage, but they attack the messenger. If you support traditional marriage, please send this video to your friends. More Americans need to see how the homosexual movement attacks the sanctity of marriage and threatens freedom of speech. Will CNN and MSNBC run this footage? Probably not. So please share it with your friends. God bless you.
This man, who was obviously pro-homosexual, had shaken up a large 2-liter bottle of soda and opened it up and ran from behind us and began to spray us and got it all over our clothes. I was at Arizona State University campaigning for traditional marriage.
Well, I was standing on the side of the street and I had a camera, and my sole purpose was to just keep an eye out for any trouble. We both noticed that a car who could have made it through a green light slowed down.
And the passenger stuck his arm out of his window and sprayed pesticide at me.
I was able to just start taking pictures as soon as the car started passing. I was getting sprayed as well. The pesticide stained my clothes and stained the black plastic on the camera as well.
What would have hit my face hit the front of the sign, but he did manage to get some of it on my hands, which had a burning sensation for 2 hours afterwards.
So when the policeman asked if we had gotten any pictures, we were able to show him all these pictures, and the policeman just started chuckling because he said this is everything that we need to find these people and to show that what they had done.
We were on campus at Berkeley, and a couple of us were standing holding our banners there. One of the students, a young lady, she started burning our flyer, our literature that we were handing out.
And then she continued kneeling there as if saying a prayer of some type.
How can you have a discussion with someone when they take your flyer and burn it? Somebody else, another student, grabbed a box of flyers, about 1,200 flyers or something. They burnt them in another area of the campus, and the police showed up, and the fire truck and everything. But it was so apparent that these guys don't practice tolerance. They don't practice what they preach at all. The aggressiveness that was there is something where, you know, you have to be there. If somebody doubts, you know, if somebody thinks we're exaggerating, I would recommend that they would come and join us the next time we go to one of these campuses, because it's very real, and you'll see it if you go.
As we were walking, we noticed a car pulled up and stopped right along the curb.
What about people that just want to be happy?
And a man got out and just started yelling at us, all sorts of profanities, and at a certain point he got very visibly upset and just ran around his car at us, came right up into my face, and then at a certain point he just shoved me, and I kind of fell backwards. I didn't fall down, but I fell back pretty far, all in the name of peace and tolerance.
Just came and attacked my friend. You, I'll attack you too.
Somebody just spit in your face?
Yes, sir. Right in the face.
Who spit in your face?
A man. I could recognize him if I saw him.
Did he say anything?
No, I offered him a flyer, and he just spat at me.
The spit landed directly on my face. pretty much all over my forehead, my eyebrows, except for my eyes. Luckily, they didn't get in my eyes.
I took my handkerchief out and wiped it away. He just spit on him and immediately took off, immediately walked away, quick as he could. It's not the first time, you know, I was spit on at another intersection we did.
What are you talking about? Open-mindedness.
Yeah, whatever. If you want an open-minded discussion.
And it's very quick, but it's revolting, and it shows the lack of tolerance. It shows a lot of things. The person, they don't have an argument. They don't have, you know, they disagree with you, but like a child or like someone with no self-control, they just do what comes to them. It's a reaction.
Yeah, after it happened, I wasn't going to give up. I just kept on doing it. I kept on handing out flyers and went on with our job.
He was the youngest volunteer, and that's why they picked on him.
So it was just a normal campaign, and for no reason, this young man came up and he had a Bible in his hand, and he started ripping out pages and throwing them into the faces of the TFP members.
You're amazing.
Your Bible.
Hey, you're littering. You're not a decoy.
Your Bible.
And every time he would throw a piece of the Bible at a TFP member, he would insult the Catholic Church.
Are you Catholic?
Fine. Is that a Bible, sir?
Oh, yeah, it is.
It is, and you're disrupting.
Yeah, and you guys are boys. Sin against nature, exactly. Well, then why are you guys boys? I'm against you ignorant.
So while this was going on, two other men came. One of them was holding a rainbow flag, and he says, "I'm glad he's ripping up the Bible. I smoked a joint with the Bible."
Well, I hear them tearing that up. I smoked a joint with the Bible. Let's smoke a joint with the Bible? Absolutely. Oh, yeah? You're the only one. 30 states, 30 states.
So he jumped up, pulled it down, ripped it down, and we let go and started shouting aggressor at him while he was ripping up the banner.
And he was putting his hands into the wind holes and ripping the banner apart. He ripped the banner into several pieces and then just threw it on the ground and walked across the crosswalk again to the other side of the corner.
There's no debate beforehand. He didn't address us beforehand. He comes across, he just does what he's going to do with no debate. You know, where is the tolerance there? Where is the intellectual process? If you disagree with something, you know, you address it with the person. We're just standing on the street with a banner, you know, affirming what God's marriage is, and, you know, he disagrees, so he just attacks us. Is that how tolerance works?
And he came up to me and said, "Are you going to give me that sign, or am I going to have to rip it out of your hands?"
This is a beer bottle that was thrown and a TFP volunteer from oncoming traffic.
It's a beer bottle. They threw it out of the car.
Wait a minute,
Yes, sir.
The effect of
No,
a
it's
beer
a different
bottle
one.
getting thrown out of a car by a pro-homosexual
Hit me
advocate.
right here in the head.
I saw the big lump on his head. It was pretty big. It looked like it hurt.
So there was about 7 of us, and we were competing in Warwick Mall. We were getting good support, a lot of honks. A few things thrown at us. One of them was the car. They threw a water bottle and, you know, went away screaming. About 10 minutes later, we saw the car come back and pull into the Dunkin' Donuts. So we were sort of prepared to what was about to happen. Then they started attacking the cameraman. So at that point, we saw that this is not going to be a friendly confrontation.
You people think you are? Yeah, take a picture. What are you gonna do?
Hey, call 911.
Watch the way it's supposed to, huh?
Hey, I am.
As soon as they started attacking and started tearing the banners away from us, I went forward to try to help the cameraman because he was in the middle of all of this attack.
That's what gay people.
The cameraman actually went away with welts in the back of his head. So as soon as I approached, one of the women started spraying me in the face with mace.
Please, get away from us. Get away from us.
It's illegal here.
Call police.
Go ahead, call police. Go ahead.
Call police.
Being attacked by a homosexual here at the border of Volunteers.
When the police finally found them, their first defense was that they went there to have a friendly conversation with us, a friendly discussion. But it was clear from the video that as soon as they crossed the street, the first thing out of their mouth was,
Hey!
What I, of course, immediately heard was our people yelling, aggression, aggression. So by the time I was able to make it to the median, the assailants had already left, but the signs of the attack were quite visible. So poor Rex and I can remember who else got hit by pepper spray. Their faces were red, their eyes were bloodshot, stinging. You could tell they had difficulty seeing. We're doing a campaign in Augusta, Maine, and in the afternoon, rush. And though I was a bit distant from a few of the others, a few of my colleagues did witness a Toyota truck jumping the curb and would have hit me if I had not moved out of the way.
These people wearing masks, covering their face, came up and stood in front of our banner. They were screaming all sorts of blasphemies, trying to provoke us, and one thing they screamed was, "God is dead. God is dead."
God is dead!
That's what Nick says too.
God is dead! God is dead!
We proceeded to pray the rosary.
Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
And their response to us praying the rosary was just one blasphemy after another.
I've been doing campaigns for the TFP for decades, and the most variety of issues. I have never seen more egregious examples of intolerance than the reactions of homosexual activists on these campaigns. When a person has to resort to violence, it looks like it's because they've lost the spoken debate, the debate of the word. And that was pretty clear to all of us, that they did not like the reaction we were arousing in the public. And so they wanted to try to do their best to stop it, and the only resort they had was violence.
over 31 states, Americans have said, no, we don't want marriage to change.
That means that the majority of Americans don't want same-sex marriage.
This issue is attacking us, our beliefs, and we should stand up for what is right in a peaceful and legal manner, but we have to do this. This is our future.
We know what marriage is. We know how God intended it to be, and we don't want counterfeits. I think more Americans need to wake up and see that the type of tolerance that the homosexual movement preaches is just a big lie.
The reason we're being attacked is because those people see that we're effective and they don't like the message that we're giving out. And so then they try and silence us.
It doesn't deter us, it doesn't stop us.
It really shows how important and how really necessary this fight for traditional marriage really is. More than ever, we're going to go to more cities, more states, more college campuses to defend traditional marriage.
Well, we know God's law. We're there to defend His law.
The more the homosexual movement attacks traditional marriage, the more we'll be ready to defend it. If you think that we're going to give up because of some petty attack, well, you're wrong. We're never going to give up.
We'll never give up. We're not going to give up.
We're not going to give up. We're ready to go at a moment's notice. We're there.
We're not going to give up.
Will CNN and MSNBC run this footage? Probably not. So please share it with your friends. God bless you.